The Senate moved to avoid a government shutdown thanks in part to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and a handful of Democrats bucking their party and supporting the Republican-led bill. President Donald Trump even acknowledged him on Truth Social, saying congratulations for doing the right thing and that it took guts and courage. Chuck Schumer, on his part, called Republicans a couple of things that I just can't say here without getting the video censored, taken down, or even demonetized. But don't worry, guys, I've got the video for you later. Also, if you want to see the full uncut video, definitely hit the link in the description down below and join our inner circle. But anyway, needless to say, Democrats are going crazy right now. All that rage is focused on just one person, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York, who signaled a day earlier that the fight was over and it's time to move on. 9 Senate Democrats and independent Angus King of Maine, who caucuses with them, joined all but one Senate Republican to sidestep a government shutdown. And boy, did his party have a lot to say about that. Asked on Friday if it was time for a new leadership team for Senate Democrats, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries didn't give Chuck Schumer a lifeline. Instead, he just kept saying, next question. But from what I heard, there's already been talk of primarying Schumer when he's next on the ballot in 2028. Squad member Ayanna Pressley called it a hostile government takeover, and AOC, she just sounds like she is ready to turn the page on their Senate leader. Then, of course, you got Senator Mark Kelly going on social media just to say that he's ditching his Tesla. Yeah, talk about random, right? But really, what we're seeing here is that Chuck Schumer voted with common sense to avert a government shutdown. And for what was that, right? His party is now giving him a rebellion. Classic Democrats. Even radio host Charlemagne the God has given up on them, saying that both Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, and the whole party of inaction, as he called them, should step down. Charlotte Clymer, a Democratic operative, even launched a change.org petition vowing to refuse any donations to official Democratic groups until Chuck Schumer steps down as Senate Minority Leader. Now, last I checked, they already had almost 17,000 signatures, and it's only been a few days. Comment down below if you think Chuck Schumer should step down. If you believe so, just type step down in the comments. But for me, nothing beats the Progressive Political Action Committee Justice Democrats that just sent out a text message that reads, F Chuck Schumer. Now, that's straightforward. So is the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer going to come out of this thing alive? Well, let's find out in today's video, shall we? Just stay right there, you guys. Okay, first, here's Chuck Schumer calling Republicans a certain word, even though he voted with them to avert a government shutdown. Watch.
We are going to conflict with them on everything. On the tax cuts for the billionaires. They become a plutocracy, an oligarchy. On Medicaid. We have plans to conflict them with all of that. If the shutdown occurred, we wouldn't be able to do that because they would fill up both the Senate and the discussion on whether we should cut this and not cut that, of things that they want to cut. So to have the conflict on the best ground we have, summed up in a sentence, that they're making the middle class pay for tax cuts for billionaires, it's much, much better not to be in the middle of a shutdown, which to divert people from the #1 issue we have against these bastards, these people, which is not only all these cuts, but they're ruining democracy. And one other thing on a shutdown.
Now, seriously, this guy's just not making any friends right now. So what he's saying is that it's supposedly a bad bill, but they still voted for it. I mean, choose a side, right? His fellow Democrats certainly did when they basically abandoned him on national televisions. Here's House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries dodging questions on whether to replace Chuck Schumer. Watch.
Is it time for new leadership in the Senate?
Next question.
Senator Chuck Schumer is from your state. He clearly has a different view of this than you. He is not saying let's go back to the negotiating table. He's saying let's take this vote. So have you lost confidence in him, the fact that you guys see this so differently?
Next question.
You have dodged multiple times questions about whether you have confidence right now in Chuck Schumer. Can I just, to clarify here, none of you are willing to say at this point that you have confidence in Chuck Schumer as leader?
You keep engaging in these parlor games because you want to take the focus off the American people. What we're saying is we look forward to continuing to work with our Senate colleagues, all of them, in opposition to the extremism that's being unleashed on the American people. But the focus right now is on everyday Americans, on children, on families, on veterans, on the people that we are fighting for, who Donald Trump and House Republicans are intentionally trying to hurt.
Now, take note, guys, this is a man who tried to get the House to still back Joe Biden after his disastrous debate last year. So for him to not voice support for Chuck Schumer, it does say a lot, right? But if you really want to hit the nail on the head, then look no further than squad members Ayanna Pressley and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Between the two of them, Chuck Schumer may as well be chopped liver. Here, watch this.
Congresswoman, only a few moments ago on Truth Social, President Trump praised Senator Schumer for having the, quote, guts to do the right thing, calling his support of the spending bill a smart move. How will that sit, you think, with House Democrats?
Well, again, I don't think we should be moving in any way to elicit praise from Donald Trump, who has no respect for Congress and the power of the purse, who is by the hour rolling out proposals and executive actions that are lawless and that are callous. We do not want to be praised by Donald Trump. This is a hostile government takeover. He is a dictator. And what do you meet a dictator with? Defiance. The Democrats can't only be the adults in the room. We have to be the fighters too. And that is the message that we are hearing every day from our constituents and what they want to see from us in this moment.
Chuck Schumer, I guess the Senate Democratic leader, your senator, said at this meeting that he is going to vote for cloture. He is going to vote to allow there to be a simple majority vote. You think that's wrong?
I believe that's a tremendous mistake. Yes.
Why?
I think, well, first and foremost, the American people, if anyone has held a town hall or has seen what has been happening in town halls, American people, whether they are Republicans, independents, Democrats, are up in arms about Elon Musk and the actual gutting of federal agencies across the board. This continuing resolution codifies much of this chaos that Elon Musk is wreaking havoc on the federal government. It codifies many of those changes. It sacrifices and completely eliminates congressional authority in order to review these impulsive Trump tariffs that he's switching on and off. And on top of that, for folks who are concerned about effectiveness in government, this Republican extreme spending bill removes all of the guardrails and all of the accountability measures to ensure that money is being spent in the way that Congress has directed for it to be spent. This turns the federal government into a slush fund for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It sacrifices congressional authority, and it is deeply partisan. And so to me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicare.
What do you think of the job that Chuck Schumer is doing? Would you ever challenge him, do you think?
I think that what we need right now is a united Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill. And I think that the strength that we have is in this moment. Reconciliation and all of these, Republicans do not need Democratic votes for that. They need it for this. And so the strength of our leadership in this moment is going to demonstrate the strength of our caucus. And I cannot urge enough how bad of an idea it is to empower and enable Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this moment. It is dangerous and it is reckless.
Well, you just talked about the strength of your leadership. Chuck Schumer just said that he's going to vote for cloture.
Now, honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of them saying the American people don't want this. I mean, I know based on the comments that I see in our YouTube videos every single day in and day out, that we the people have had enough of Democratic leadership. Do you guys agree, or do you really agree with Ayanna Pressley? It's time for change, and that's what the Trump administration is doing for the American people. Oh, and since we're already talking about how out of touch the party is, here's Senator Mark Kelly just ditching his Tesla and saying it's a political statement. Watch.
Hey folks, Mark Kelly here in Washington, driving to work for the last time in my Tesla. When I bought this thing, I didn't think it was going to become a political issue. Every time I get in this car in the last 60 days or so, it reminds me of just how much damage Elon Musk and Donald Trump is doing to our country. Talking about slashing Social Security, cutting healthcare benefits for poor people, for seniors. It's one bad thing after the next. He's firing veterans. I'm a veteran, so I have a really hard time driving around in this thing. So I think it's time for an upgrade today. So this is going to be my last trip in this car. There were some things I really liked about it. There are things I didn't like about it, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, doing the right thing. I think it's time to get rid of it. Elon Musk kind of turned out to be an asshole, and I don't want to be driving a car built and designed by an asshole. So, looking forward to my new ride.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. People sell cars all the time. I don't get the big deal about it. Now, at this point, there's just no coming back for anyone that loves this country but still voted for any Democrat. You know what I mean? But yeah, at this point, the Democrats' public meltdown at Chuck Schumer just shows you their true colors as a party deeply divided over whether to give Republicans a quote-unquote win by voting for their government funding measure or letting the government shut down. And it says a lot that high-profile members of the Senate Democratic Conference, including Amy Klobuchar, a member of the Democratic leadership, bucked Chuck Schumer to oppose the spending bill and basically voted for a government shutdown instead. I mean, we're not even going to talk about how Senate Democrats were heard screaming while a fierce debate with their colleagues over how to proceed on the House-passed continuing resolution. On the down low, though, some Democratic lawmakers are privately pushing New York Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to primary Chuck Schumer. What do y'all think about that? I mean, she did say how it was almost unthinkable for her why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that they had and just basically give it away for free. She mentioned Social Security and Medicare, but then again, the bill didn't touch any of these entitlement programs. In fact, the stopgap funding measure included an additional $6 billion for veterans, healthcare, modest increases for defense spending and immigration, and customs enforcement funding to patch an operating shortfall that ultimately started under the Biden administration and continues a $20 billion rescission request in IRS enforcement funding. So that's what they didn't want to vote for? House Democratic leadership even came out with a statement saying, remain strongly opposed to the partisan spending bill under consideration in the Senate. House Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi said that she was proud of her colleagues in the House Democratic caucus for their overwhelming vote against this bill. Then you got President Trump and Republicans praising Schumer's vote as a smart move. As Trump pointed out, the big tax cuts, LA fire fix, debt ceiling bill, and so much more is coming. We should all work together on that very dangerous situation. A non-pass would be a country destroyer. Approval will lead us to new heights. In fact, he said that this could lead to something big for the USA, a whole new direction and beginning. Senate Republicans, they were just confident that Democrats were going to get the blame for dragging the country into a government shutdown, especially when they started calling it a Schumer shutdown. Senate Majority Whip John Brazo, he told reporters the Democrats are going to pay the price of the shutdown because they're inviting a shutdown. They seem to be proudly owning the shutdown. And with the way that these Democrats turned on Schumer, it does seem like they wanted a government shutdown to happen. What do you guys think? Are Democrats just done at this point? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you guys appreciate the discussion so far. I also recommend subscribing to the channel and tapping that notification bell for more content like this straight to your device. All right, guys. So yes, Democrats are so messed up right now as a party that they've even got well-known liberal commentators calling for their heads. For one, you got radio show host Charlemagne the God said Chuck Schumer and Jeffries should step down. Here, check this out.
Party of inaction. The Democrats have failed to protect the interests of the American people. And you know why, Dems suck at messaging? Because they never talking about nothing. And they do nothing. So guess what? To me, they all got to go. Like Dems don't just have a messaging problem. They got a leadership problem. The Chuck Schumers of the world, the Hakeem Jeffries, they should all step down. And any Dem who isn't fighting for the people and standing with the party should be primaried. Like, how can you say the bill sucks, but you're passing it anyway? Like, you're not going to even try to, present something different, right? Try to negotiate nothing. It sucks, but we're going to pass it anyway.
Yeah, that's been the commentary. Basically, I think a lot of the world agrees with you on that because it just seems as though the Democrats can't come together on anything.
Nothing,
so
ever.
Yeah,
nothing at all. Nope. So what's the point of voting for them?
Just goes to show President Trump is what America needed to show people that Democrats have been the party of inaction all along. This isn't just me saying it. Charlemagne the God pointed it out himself. He said, You know why Democrats suck at messaging? Because they never talk about nothing. They do nothing. That's why he says they all got to go. Like, Dems don't just have a messaging problem. They got a leadership problem. The Chuck Schumers of the world, the Hakeem Jeffries of the world, they should all step down. Plus, he brought up some very good food for thought for people still supporting Democrats right now. What reason do you have to continue to support the party of inaction? That narrative will not change for Democrats until the people in the Democratic Party are changed. So there you go. Even longstanding Democrats are waking up and they're seeing their party for what it truly is. A whole bunch of nothing that needs to be taken down a peg. Charlotte Clymer, a Democratic operative, launched a change.org petition saying just that. According to the petition, until Senate Democrats force Mr. Schumer to step down as minority leader, they will not give a dime to any Senate Democrat. The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, the Democratic National Committee, or any other organization or committee that financially supports any Democrat. Their reason? Enough is enough. They say they need new leadership to meet this grave moment, and they need it now. And, well, almost 17,000 people agree. In fact, Clymer said anger at Chuck Schumer appears to be unifying Democrats, that she hasn't seen this much uniting anger across the party in a long, long time. For her, Senator Chuck Schumer has managed to unite them far more than Trump has in recent months. And hey, that is definitely saying something considering how they've labeled President Trump Hitler. They've labeled Trump a fascist, a racist, misogynist. I don't know. The whole list just keeps going on and on and on. For Schumer to be worse than all that for them, wow, just wow. The way she described it, they're hurtling down a slippery slope, and it appears leader Schumer is pushing in all their chips in a stack of assumptions that are mostly based on a presumption of good faith in Trump and the Republican Party, which to date has been entirely absent. Together with her on this is Progressive Political Action Committee Chair Justice Democrats that sent out a text message that read, F Chuck Schumer. There's also a Brooklyn community Facebook group for a neighborhood near Chuck Schumer's home in the borough where some angry New Yorkers posted their frustration. They said, if you're out walking your dog in the park, you know where to drop off the poop bags. Let me know what you think about this, guys. Is it time for Chuck Schumer and the current Democratic leadership to go? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments down below. Let's get a conversation started about this. And if you want more deep discussions like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also check out our recommended videos that are about to pop up here in a second. Appreciate y'all hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.